Spider-Man is swinging through theaters once again, and fans all over the world cannot get enough of Marvel's friendly neighborhood hero. He didn't just swing back into the theaters, he took over the world. Brand New Day exploded out of the gate to a record-shattering 360 million domestic opening, officially beating Avengers Endgame for the largest premiere in North American history. And guess what? That was only the beginning. In only 7 days, the film crossed 1.15 billion globally, becoming the highest grossing movie of 2026 and officially dethroning Toy Story 5. 2 weekends later, it rocketed to 1.67 billion worldwide, putting it on pace to join Avatar and Avengers Endgame as the only films in history to pass 2.5 billion. Crazy, right? At this point, Spider-Man is not just a movie, it's a global phenomenon. So, today while the world is still buzzing about this movie, I'm bringing you 10 facts about Spider-Man that you probably didn't know. Hi there, thank you so much for stopping by. Welcome to the Deca Wonders channel, where we talk about facts, stories, and interesting videos from around the world. Hi, I'm Janice. Before I get into the video, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already and hit the notification bell so you never miss any of the future videos. And if you've already subscribed, thank you so much for being a part of the Deca Wonders family. Now that you've done so, let's get swinging into the facts. Imagine a world without Spider-Man. No Peter Parker, no web slinging, no spider sense, and no neighborhood-friendly hero. And apparently, that almost happened. Back in 1962, Stan Lee came up with the idea for a superhero who was, wait for it, a teenager who actually acted like a teenager. Name? Spider-Man. But there was a problem. Marvel publisher Martin Goodman wasn't exactly jumping for joy over the idea. At the time, teenage superheroes were usually sidekicks, not the main hero. And the idea of making a superhero based on a spider wasn't exactly what everyone considered a brilliant business strategy. I mean, imagine pitching that today. I've got a new superhero, he's a teenager, he's awkward, he has money problems, and oh yeah, he's named after a spider. Not exactly an easy sell, but Stan Lee did not give up, and I love that part. Goodman eventually agreed to let Spider-Man appear in Amazing Fantasy 15, which was scheduled to be the final issue of the series. In other words, Spider-Man was basically being given one last shot with very little to lose. And then something happened that nobody could have predicted. Readers loved him. The issue became a huge success, and just months later, Spider-Man got his own comic series. Imagine that. So think about that the next time you see Spider-Man swinging across the movie screen. One of the most famous superheroes in history almost didn't make it past the pitch meeting. Good thing Stan Lee decided to shoot his shot, because apparently the spider had other plans. Before settling on Spider-Man, Stan Lee experimented with different names for the character, including the Spider, and he has also recalled considering names like Flyman and Mosquito Man. And honestly, Mosquito Man? Imagine the tagline, "This summer, justice is about to get really itchy." Thankfully, Stan Lee settled on Spider-Man, and I think we can all agree that was the right call, because Spider-Man sounds like a superhero. Flyman? That sounds like somebody who just showed up to your backyard barbecue. And that is how one of the most famous superheroes in history avoided becoming Mosquito Man. Number 8, Spider-Man was inspired by a fly, not a spider. And that ties back into the reason why the name the Fly Man was being considered, because Stan Lee recalls seeing a fly crawling up a wall, and he thought, what if a superhero could do that and stick to the walls just like an insect? And that gave him the inspiration for Spider-Man. Now most of us see a fly crawling on the wall and reach for a fly swatter. Stan Lee saw it and basically said, superhero. From there, he started thinking of names like Insect Man, Mosquito Man, and even Flyman, but none of them sounded quite right. Then he landed on Spider-Man because he thought that it would be mysterious and super dramatic. And the rest, as they say, is history. So technically, we might owe a tiny fly a thank you, because without that little wall crawler, Spider-Man might never have existed. Number 7, Peter Parker changed superheroes forever. Before Peter Parker or Spider-Man came along, superheroes were viewed as perfect, strong, confident, and fearless. Then along came Peter Parker and changed the game. He was a teenager who had homework, money problems, family responsibilities, and let's be honest, a whole lot of awkwardness. Peter wasn't just fighting villains, he was trying to figure out his own life while being a superhero, and that was revolutionary. Readers could actually see themselves in him. He could save the city one day and still worry about passing a test the next. Basically, Peter Parker proved that you don't have to be perfect to be a hero. You can be awkward, make mistakes, get knocked down, and still get back up and do the right thing. And that's the big reason Spider-Man has remained so relatable for more than 60 years. At number 6, the suit. Let's talk about Spider-Man's suit because he has had dozens of different suits. Let's be honest, Spider-Man has some serious fashion game. The classic red and blue Spider-Man suit was designed by Steve Ditko, the artist who co-created Spider-Man with Stan Lee. And that suit wasn't just about looking cool. The web pattern, the large white eyes, the red and blue colors, it gave Spider-Man a look that was completely different from the superheroes that came before him. And over the years, Spider-Man has had different suits, from the black symbiote suit to the Iron Spider and all the high-tech versions we've seen on screen. At this point, Peter Parker might have a bigger wardrobe than most superheroes, and somehow he still wears the same colors. Number 5, the webs. Because what is Spider-Man without the webs? And what you won't believe is his webs aren't actually a part of his powers. Yes, that surprised a lot of people. His webs weren't actually a part of his special powers. In most versions of Spider-Man, Peter Parker doesn't naturally produce webs. Instead, he invents web shooters himself. That means he's not just athletic, he's also one of Marvel's greatest scientific minds. His intelligence is often overlooked because everyone focuses on the action. For Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, Peter naturally produces the webbing from his wrists. He doesn't use mechanical web shooters. In Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, Peter invented mechanical web shooters and creates the web fluid himself. The webbing comes from the devices on his wrists. For Tom Holland's Spider-Man, Peter also uses mechanical web shooters, and Tony Stark later provides him with more advanced technology, so the webs aren't a natural power in this version either. In the comics, the original Peter Parker created mechanical web shooters and synthetic web fluid, so the classic comic book version is closer to Andrew and Tom's versions. But that's really kind of cool because guess what? Spider-Man isn't just a superhero, he's basically a teenage scientist with a very unusual plumbing system. Number 4, Spider-Man has been played by multiple lead actors. And that is one reason why Spider-Man has remained so beloved and so relevant, because every generation has had its own Peter Parker. Tobey Maguire introduced Spider-Man to millions. Andrew Garfield brought a different emotional depth. Tom Holland connected with a new generation of fans through the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Each version has its own loyal fan base, and debates over the best Spider-Man are still going strong. Number 3, Spider-Man is one of the world's most valuable superheroes. Spider-Man is big business. Need I say more? Yes, I am going to. For more than 60 years, Peter Parker has been showing up everywhere. Comic books, movies, video games, toys, clothing, backpacks, lunchboxes, you name it. Honestly, if you can put a spider on it, somebody has probably sold it. And that popularity has made Spider-Man one of Marvel's most valuable and recognizable characters, generating billions of dollars in entertainment and merchandise revenue over the years. And here's the crazy part. People aren't just buying Spider-Man products because they're fans of superheroes. They're buying them because Spider-Man has become a global brand. So Peter Parker may spend his days worrying about rent, but somewhere in the world, Spider-Man is making somebody a whole lot of money. Number 2, Spider-Man has a very strange weakness. Yes, he can lift incredible amounts of weights, he can web crawl, and he can sense danger before it appears. But there's something that can seriously mess him up, and that is ethyl chloride. Let's get into it. Yep, a chemical that's been used in the comics as a kind of Spider-Man bug spray. When Spider-Man is exposed to ethyl chloride, it can interfere with his powers and leave him weakened. Think about that. A guy who can take on supervillains and swing between skyscrapers can have a very bad day because of a chemical spray. And here's the funny part. Spider-Man's biggest weakness isn't always some giant cosmic villain. Sometimes it's basically the superhero equivalent of bug spray. So, if you're ever wondering how to stop Spider-Man, well, don't actually try this at home. But in the Marvel Universe, ethyl chloride is definitely something Spidey would rather avoid. And at number 1, we had to end this video with one of the most famous quotes ever: with great power comes great responsibility. The idea is simple. Having power isn't what makes you a hero, it's what you choose to do with that power. Peter Parker could have used his abilities for money, fame, or just making his life a whole lot easier. I mean, imagine never having to pay for an Uber again because you can just swing across town. But instead, Peter learns that his abilities come with a responsibility to help others. And that's really what makes Spider-Man so special. Behind the mask, he's still just Peter Parker, an ordinary person trying to do the right thing. And maybe that's why millions of people connect with him, because you don't have to be superhuman to make a difference. Sometimes it's simply about using whatever you have to help someone else. And that is the real power of Spider-Man. And there you have it, 10 amazing facts to help you get to know the friendly neighborhood hero a little bit better. And I think it is safe to say that there's a whole lot more to Spider-Man than just swinging through the streets of New York. And now I want to hear from you. Which one of these facts were your favorite? Or which one did you not know about? Let me know in the comments, or if there's any fact that you think I should know about, please add it in the comments. I would love to hear from you. And as usual, if you enjoyed this video, if you learned anything new, remember to like, subscribe, and share. Also hit the notification bell so you get alerted whenever I post a new video. Until next time, keep wondering, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm Janice from the Deck of Wonders, and I'm out.